in hopes that we wouldn't say it first, but truth must be told.
What I wish I knew at 18 instead of 28? That Young Elder News 9 would be my go-to for all things news and more. Broadcasting live worldwide, we've got over 3 million listeners tuned in every day. From world news to stock markets, government topics to the quirkiest stories, we cover it all on Young Elder TV. And remember, folks, you heard it here first. Our friendly team brings you the latest scoops with a dash of that good old Southern charm. Whether you're curious about the latest political twists or need the lowdown on the economy, we're your go-to source. We make sure you're always in the know, in the most engaging and entertaining way possible. So buckle up, y'all. It's time to dive into the world of Young Elder News 9, where the news is always fresh, fun, and downright fascinating. Stay tuned, spread the word, and remember, you heard it here first. Young Elder News 9, the hottest show in the game.
Hey, we want to thank y'all for tuning in. We the hottest in the game, man. We got a great show for you tonight. We was looking into the fog thing, man. We hear people talking about the fog thing. Young Yellow, what about the fog? What about the fog? So we went looked into the fog thing, and we put something together for you here today to break down what's going on with the fog. We're giving people time to get in, but while we giving people time to get in, let's run this short clip.
Last 7 days, the world has been shrouded in a veil of mystery. An unrelenting fog that stretches from the poop-covered streets of Portland, Oregon, to the quietest corners of the countryside. This is no ordinary weather phenomenon. It's a dense, suffocating mist with an unsettling smell of chemicals lingering in the air. Residents in every corner of the globe have reported seeing strange, glittering particles suspended within it, almost as if the fog is alive, hiding secrets within its depths. The fog has already claimed lives, 4 catastrophic plane crashes in just 1 week.
Now, so as you can see, it's this fog. The new thing is the fog thing. Now, let me share my screen because we got a couple notes we want to go over here. Let's get into it, man. This is how we do it. And like so, get them in here. Let's do it, man. First thing we're going to look up here. Let's look up psychological warfare using panic. A lot of things we're not gonna say. You're just gonna have to read between the lines because that's how they do it. Cause we're gonna get into that too. We're gonna get in how they using Hillary Clinton's clone right now. They're using Hillary Clinton clone in the background. All right, so psychological warfare using panic. Keep in mind, Tahuti always taught us the main thing is don't panic. Keep in mind about a thing called wag the dog. We might need to look that up too. But what is psychological warfare using panic? It says psychological warfare using panic involves deliberately spreading fear and anxiety within a target population to destabilize their decision making, disturb their social order, and ultimately gain control by creating a sense of overwhelming panic and chaos, often through the use of exaggerated threats, misinformation, or sudden dramatic events. So keep in mind about how psychological warfare is used to create this fear, to create this anxiety, and to create this what they call mass hysteria. We'll get into that too. We can't say certain things. You're gonna have to read between the lines, right? Now, the next thing we want to point out is let's go here. Okay. Now, don't forget, me and Rod already pointed out to you you right here, we read this receipt to you, and you can see the highlighted part here where it says the Emergency Banking Relief Act of March 9, 1933 defines the American people as the American enemy legally of the United States government because the U.S. bankruptcy through which the private International Federal Reserve became the government. Man, all this might go over your head, but it's going to come back to you later. So remember that the American people are the enemy. Right? Now, let's run this thing. This is another thing. Now, how's the chemtrails getting up there? All these this fog. Let's run this clip right here for you.
Trails, not the chemical, the contrails occur because of cold air, minus 30. It takes high altitude, around 30,000 feet plus. There's carbon dioxide and water vapor in that exhaust. That turns to ice crystals, and that's what you see, the white stream behind it. Those white crystals of ice warm up, dissolve, and the smoke goes away. And it never lasts more than a minute. What we're seeing now, and I first could not believe it, and I started looking at the skies, and these are not normal. They're not natural.
I'm here to give you testimony that chemtrails are indeed real. They're spraying almost every day. I watch the clouds and watch the spraying program going on. I want to tell you that we're in very great danger from the pollution that's coming down over us. And we've been led astray by the military-industrial complex, and they're responsible for the clouds creation and weather manipulation programs. They're dark operations. That's why they're not out in the media.
There's a huge amount of aluminum being found because these sprays have aluminum, strontium, barium, manganese, and there's a lot of argument that aluminum is very common to be found, but aluminum is only common in a bonded form. It's not common in a free form, and we're finding high rates of free aluminum in the soil, which is not natural.
Okay, so you understand the chemtrails. We ain't got to get into what's going on. You understand the chemtrails. Now, understand that the anarchies been using this technology. Even the government has been had it since about around the 1920s. They've been crop dusting, using it. The Enlil and them was crop dusting, Baal and them. Enlil's son Adad to crop dust the Israelites, which is why they starved for that 7 years, and they had to supposedly go to Texas to get the corn. Yeah, we said Texas to get some corn, right? We on to them. We on to the game. Hey, so hey, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. So now we want to look up some more definitions for you before we go into some more clips. Now, keep in mind they got this thing. We got to look up Operation Fog. Because this right here is Operation Fog. And keep in mind, they put out a movie. It's a movie that came out called The Mist. Y'all remember that movie? This movie right here. Hold on, let me share my screen. I don't think my screen share. Hold up. All right, so you remember this movie right here, right? Can y'all see that? The Mist. In this movie, if you get the scenario, a mist came over the town, and then out of the mist, monsters came out and started killing people. If you read the scenario, it says, after a powerful storm damaged the main hometown, Daytona, Thomas James and his younger son headed into town to gather food and supplies. Right, it don't go into the little storyline right here, but it goes into say, okay, yes it do. It goes to say that the creatures says, deadly creatures reveal themselves outside, but they may be none compared to threats within, where a zealot called for a sacrifice. Yeah, but the thing is, It's in this mist. They said the mist was killing people, but it was some kind of alien inside the mist, right? They put this movie out, right? Let's look up another thing before on psychological deals before we go further. What else we got on psychological? Oh, let's look at mass hysteria. Let's look at mass hysteria. Keep in mind, order out of chaos is this whole game plan. Keep in mind, the order out of chaos. Mass hysteria, also known as mass psychogenous illness, is a social phenomenon where a group of people experience similar physical symptoms without a clear medical cause, often due to sharing beliefs or anxieties about a perceived threat. Keep that in mind. What is the threat? Oh, some fog coming out the sky and it's snuffing people out. Yeah, get it. Remember, get out, right? Some fog is coming out the sky, the mist, and something is in the mist and it's snuffing people out, right? So this to create this, and they promote it on all the websites. Meanwhile, Hillary Clinton is talking about really Hillary Clinton's clone is going around talking about, because after Joe Biden just gave her an award, she going around talking about banning certain information from being put online, simply because the Anthony Weiner's laptop situation in the Epstein's flight logs, which allegedly IDs her as being a part of that ring, that underground piece of joint and all that. And she's going around running this campaign like that's all hype when everybody knows, everybody plays the fool. Main ingredient. That's the main ingredient. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But this mass hysteria is a physical symptom without a clear medical cause. So people can be. It don't even have to be nothing in this fog, but just by them promoting it and saying it and creating this psychological illness, people can say, "Oh, I feel sick." "Oh, you feel sick?" "Oh, what?" The normal symptoms that happen around this time, which is sore throat, was because of the weather change, right? The normal symptoms that happen during this time is like sore, the stuff that they saying, cold, runny nose. And we're not saying that it's not nothing in this stuff. We're just saying we're looking at all the points. We're gonna cover all the perspectives on this to see what's going on. And we see mass hysteria. People can be thinking that they sick, and there can be no bacteria or medical cause that's causing them. It can be all mental, a mental thing, right? And it says right here, leading to a collective display of symptoms like fainting, nauseating, uncontrolled movements, right? Essentially is a widespread outbreak of unexplained physical symptoms within a community triggered by psychological factors. What they promoting on TV, it says these general physical illness, the social phenomenon, all these things they promote. When they promote this on TV, it says they did an experiment one time where they gave certain people certain types of drugs, and then they gave them the other people's Generical brand. And the people that got the Generical brand came back saying they was having the same symptoms as the people that got the real brand. And they come to figure out it's all mine. And really it is all mine, because those drugs or whatever those formulas are, or chemicals, or pharmacy, which is really witchcraft, right? We can get into it, alchemy, right? But those drugs activate certain chemicals in the brain. And these chemicals in the brain is what releases the certain things to make you not feel any pain. Like you got pain, nervous receptors in the brain. And what the nervous system do is sends an email to the brain. It says it opens that, when the brain opens that email up, it says pain in the right arm or pain in the leg, right? And so the brain is what creates all these emotional feelings, right? So you can create an emotional feeling in your brain without even being ill. Some people are sick and don't even know they're sick. It's a psychological sickness, right? And that's part of mass hysteria, right? Let's get one more before we go into let's get one more. Let's deal with the doctrine of the discovery. We're working on something on that. Let's get one more. It says psychological technique. No, that's not psychological warfare. We already do that one. All right, let's go on to this one. Now, we got a couple more to read before we get into more. Let's read this right here. The fog machine. What is the fog machine? Because keep in mind, this technology exists. They got machines that can create fog. They use it for movie props and things of that nature. We're gonna get into the biological thing. Why the biological unit suit is up there, because of this is a reptilian agenda. And it's mighty funny that we put out the reptilian tapes. This is a reptilian agenda. Why? How do you know it's a reptilian agenda? Because this is dealing with aerosol. We'll get into that. And Doc already pointed out in the holy tablets that these Tanushnim, these Draconian reptilian humanoids, use the aerosol type bomb to blow a hole in Red's ozone layer. And then Doc went on to say that they were doing the same thing here on Earth. Right? We're going to get into it. The aerosol thing. Right? You can read that if you want to, for my newcomers that want to get that and read the holy tablets by the master teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York. The links for that is in the descriptions for free. It just says link to read the holy tablets for free, and you can get that information in there about what happened with the aerosol bomb. But here's the fog machine, right? It says a fog machine, also known as a smoke machine or fog generator, is a device that produces thick aquatic vapor that looks like fog or smoke. This is fog machine often used in concerts, theaters, nightclubs, hunting attractions, and things of that nature. Now we know about the fog machine, right? And they got big ones, and they can attach these to drones. Keep in mind, they can attach these to drones. They can attach these to airplanes, and it's pretty much the same thing as the chemtrail machine and the mosquito spray machine. Right? Hold on, let me get into this. I want to look up one thing. And we already know what caused fog. Let's look up this right here. It's called Operation Fog. That's what we're going to look up before we go into more clips. Operation Fog. Now, Operation Fog, right, may refer to multiple things. They say includes dispensary system used in World War II as a guide to incident commander systems, tips for driving fog. Hold on, the one I wanted is where it says that this British soldier or this British scientist created the fog machine. This right here might be it right here. Right, it says which sometimes refer to the fog intense dispenser. Operation Fog Intensifiers was a system used to dispense fog and pea soup fog from the airfield so that aircrafts could land safely. The device was developed by Arthur Hartley. Yeah, the British guy. Okay, all right, yeah. So this British guy Arthur created this fog machine. And they had two different types. They had one that could create fog, right? That could generate fog. And then they had one that can disperse the fog, move the fog around, suck it up, right? Like kind of like suck it up and disperse it, right? Now, it goes on to say that this machine, this fog machine, was used as a weapon. And I had pulled it up, man, but AI be doing some stuff, man, because I pulled it up and AI had told me that they use this fog machine device, allegedly the U.S. in 1980s in Iran as a biological weapon. Like they released fog, but in the fog, let me see. It's called Operation Fog. They had it up in here. Where is it? Says the AI still give it to me, man. AI be hot. Okay. Let me just type in Iran. See if it bring it back up. So now I want to pull it up. But it was going on to say that they used this weapon, this device against the Iranians, and they had them on tanks and shit. And they pulled up on these guys and released the fog. Okay. Now we hearing, okay, let's run some more clips and then we'll get more into hold on, let's go over this first. Because you gotta hear these things before we go into the rest of it, and then you understand what's going on. All right, let's type in what is chemical warfare. All right, chemical warfare referred to the use of toxic chemical substances, weapons designed to internationally harm or kill people through their poisonous properties, often dispensed as a gas, liquid, or aerosol. Keep in mind, they go aerosol again. So we gotta look up what is aerosol. Right, the aerosol condenses a type of weapon of mass destruction. Right, so that's a chemical warfare. Right. All right. What is aerosol? An aerosol is a mixture of fine solid particles or liquid droplets suspended in the air or another gas. Right. So remember we told you about the aerosol, and the aerosol really depletes the ozone layer. These aerosol cans, and who's in on the aerosol? The Dragonians, Reptilians. And keep in mind small particles, because that's gonna come back up. Right. That's the biological warfare before we go into some more clips. And cloud seeding is the same thing as chemtrails. We'll get into that too. Biological warfare is the international use of biological agents to cause disease or death in humans or animals or plants. Right? Anthrax. So they got anthrax there. But but so biological weapon, chemical weapons, right? Biological weapon is a type of unconventional weapon or weapon of mass destruction along with chemicals, nuclears, radiological weapons, biological weapons, and attractive, but because they are expensive to produce. Right, so a lot of people don't got these biological weapons because they're too expensive to these smaller countries. But people like Russia, U.S., and China, they got biological weapons. Right. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into some more clips real quick, because we got people. We got a lot of reports on the land about this stuff, and we're trying to figure out what's going on, and we're trying to get to the bottom of it. And let's see what's going on here. Stop that screen. Let's roll this clip real quick.
All right, so it's crazy foggy right now. But that's not the weird part, okay? Like, number one, it's weird because as it gets later in the day, fog should lighten, dissipate, and it's really not. But the weirdest part is the taste and smell. It smells like after you set off a bunch of fireworks, and like the taste of the air is, I mean, the only word I can think of is toxic. It's super weird. And so I'm going for my walk, and it's kind of worrying me a little bit. Let me know if you guys are experiencing something like that. That's weird. Yeah, I mean, it smells not right. And I'm 41. I've been through fog. This is something different. Let me know if you guys are experiencing something like that.
Okay, so the guy is saying that it has a smell sort of like gunpowder or sulfur. And we heard that storyline, and it's popping up everywhere. You got reports in UK, Florida, Texas, Oregon, New York. So it's happening everywhere. So it just can't be. It might not just be a U.S. type thing. It could be a worldwide thing. People are saying that after the drones came down, all of a sudden some white balls or something appeared, and then after that the fog came. Right, the same scenario, kind of like in the movie The Mist. Right, so so that smell is kind of like a thing. Now, before we go forward, let's look up this, because people were saying that allegedly scientists tested the fog, and they said that this particular thing was in the fog. Let's look it up. It's called it's called PM2.5 pollutant. All right, let's look it up. Pollutant. PM2.5 particles, a pollutant made up of tiny particles. Remember that, right? So it's a tiny particle, right? And this is allegedly what's they found inside of this P25 particle is what they allegedly found inside of the fog testings, or the little because it's saying it's not. It's like it looked like little snowflakes, kind of. And it says, okay, it may reduce the same symptoms they're saying they're receiving. It says long-term exposure to PM2.5 can lead to reducing lung functions, development of cardiovascular and respiratory disease, increased rate of disease progress, whatever. So pretty much whatever disease you already got, it increases that disease or speed it up. So if you got like say like cerebral palsy or whatever you got, kidney failure, whatever, this particular thing, PM2.5, speeds that up and pretty much reduces your lifespan. And it's harmful to infants and children. So supposedly, allegedly, scientists, somebody tested this, and this is what they came up with. Before we go to the next slide, all right. So we want to just point that out. Okay,
low visibility in spots due to some dense morning fog.
Tonight we've got fog along the river and into western Iowa, zero visibility,
which is being impacted not only by the fog that still seems to be fairly dense at this hour.
Outside Heathrow Airport, the air traffic control tower is barely visible. Emerging from the fog, this plane is one of the flights that made it.
Okay, that was just a short one. Let's run
like it's conclusive. FogVid 24 is a real thing. The previous video is going viral. If you go and read the comment section, everybody's saying they were completely fine. They didn't feel anything coming on. But then as soon as they went out in this fog, whatever it is, they got a sore throat, they had to go to bed, they couldn't sleep, they were bunged up, they had migraines, they lost all their energy. And not only them, everyone in the household. There's mums reporting on it saying all the kids are ill. We've got people in Kentucky, we've got people in Sweden, we've got people in Finland, all reporting the same thing. The fog has made them sick. And you know, it's scenarios like this that always have an adverse effect. Whatever they're doing in the skies, whatever they're spraying, whatever this fog is, they're obviously doing it for a reason, but it is going to wake people up. People have had enough. They're sick of being poked, they're sick of being prodded, they're sick of poison in the air and poison in the food, poison in the milk, poison in the minds. We're being pummeled in more ways we can imagine to demoralise us over a period of time, so when things get to a critical point and everyone's screaming out for a saviour, the government's going to be there, but they were the ones that created the problem in the first place.
Now, the government said they're not responsible for this, but the American people is the enemy And if the people that's doing the chemtrails and cloud seeding in the H project is military, that connects them back with the church. That connects them back with the reptilians, and then we start putting it together because the aerosol game is the reptilian game. Now let's look at this right here because they saying that this fog is not like a fog, smoke fog. It's got like a snowflake type effect to it. Let's look at this video right here.
Something strange is going on here, folks, with this weird fog that everyone's seeing in different parts of the United States, over in the UK where it's just been lingering for 4 days. Is this potentially that smart dust technology, nano-sized particles of RFID chips that they did research into since the 90s? And are they rolling it out right now? Check out my next video and I'll go into more details on the smart dust technology.
Now, so you see, it's like a snowy type effect. This type of whatever it is, it don't even it's foggy, but at the same time as it's coming down, it's looking like some kind of snow. Now it could be because it's got cold air high up, and then when it's condensed, whatever the fog's coming down, it's starting the water molecules kind of like freeze a little bit and then come down. That could be it. But the thing is, this next video make us think, okay, all right, well, that might not be it. It could be some chemical involved with this, because once it mixed with chlorine, it gives off another effect. Let's play this video.
Okay. Calling in all reinforcements. Need your help on this one. My friend who lives in East Texas woke up today and this is what was in her pool. Now, she's lived in this property for over 11 years. Never has had anything like this happen before. No, she did not change any chemical regimen in her pool. The only thing that she said that was kind of weird was there was some really odd fog yesterday. But I've tried to look it up too. I can't find anything that would lead to anything like this happening or any reaction with water. So if anybody has any idea, any water experts out there, I know I have a few, or at least one following my page. We need your help. All right, guys. Thanks so much in advance for your help. Let me know if you have any ideas.
So whatever chemical that's mixed in with that fog might be when it mixed with chlorine or the certain type of chemical, it turns that foamy white. So to me, that's whatever it is. And we got, as alchemists, we got to look at this, because they don't try to teach us chemistry. They try to take us to school to teach us chemistry. And really, chemistry is simple. For the basic chemistry is simple. And how do you know, learn to make it simple is 2 key words: alkaline and acidics. Right? You got the 0 point in the middle, and then if you go to the left, -1, you're going to acidic side, and you can actually reference the alkaline chart and the chakra chart to this same ideology. Well, if you go left, you go to the acidic side, but if you go right, you go into the alkalinity side. So whatever that is, it's got to be acidic when it's mixed with this chlorine to create that foam. It's got to be something inside of that, some kind of chemical. And like I say, the guys said that when they tested it, they came up with the MP525 thing. It was just a small, tiny aerosol particle that can cause harm, sort of things that it caused, right? So people want answers. They want to know what's going on. They want answers from the government. And the government just saying they don't know. Joe Biden up saying that he don't know what's going on. He go Joe Biden. Let's roll Joe Biden.
Now the claims are getting even more bizarre. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, a congresswoman of Georgia, is now saying the federal government is literally controlling the weather. We're controlling the weather. It's beyond ridiculous. It's got to stop. In moments like this, there are no red or blue states. There's one United States of America, where neighbors are helping neighbors. Volunteers and first responders are risking everything, including their own lives, to help their fellow Americans. State, local, and federal officials are standing side by side. Let me repeat, no one should make the American people question whether their governments will be making sure that this is acting when it strikes. They'll be there. We will.
Right? So you already know about Joe Forbidden. You know what I'm saying? Joe Forbidden. Man, you can't trust nothing the government say. Especially Joe Biden. And that smile on his face make it look funny, man. Like he always be knowing what be going on and just be smiling, that's group greasing the American people, man. They keep greasing us. But something's going on, and it's definitely military. And like I say, the American people are the enemy. So how would you come after your enemy? Would you use silent weapons for a quiet war? Right? Let's roll a nothing.
Mysterious fog has started to show up all across the country, and people are very worried. Ever since the Dior bags stopped showing up in the sky, people have started to see fog at their house all across the country. Literally from all corners of America, people are walking outside their house, seeing fog like this, but saying that it has oddly big particles in it. Florida, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, California, and Texas, and basically all over the country, people are reporting the same thick particle fog. Some people are saying that it's making them feel sick, smells like chemicals, and is not normal, and what are the odds that it's the exact same looking stuff everywhere? This is a video somebody took yesterday morning in Florida at 6:30, and this is not snow. They don't know what this is. This person said this fog is everywhere, and it's not just fog, it's like someone spraying something weird. My throat's been killing me since it rolled in. Anyone else notice this chemical smell? It's not natural, feels like we're in a sci-fi movie where the air is not safe anymore. No one has been able to say exactly what this fog is or why people are able to see it all across the country, but I want you guys to let me know, have you seen this fog yet?
Every news media, well, not every news media, but a lot of people are reporting it. And is it a psychological tactic to get people in the order out of chaos? Because it seems like a lot of these stuff is going on now. It seems like they move is to order out of chaos. They did the thing in New Orleans where they ran over the people, had the Nigerian candidate. We hearing more reports about the Trump. It's actually the two cyber trucks that exploded kind of like the same way. We heard different perspectives on what happened in front of Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. Somebody said it was a robot driving the truck. Elon Musk came out and said that it was fireworks in back of the truck. Right, so it was a whole bunch of stuff behind that, and so it's a series of events that caused this mass hysteria, just like we just read, that caused this illness, right? To cause this illness where people become sick mentally. And this is the games they play. These are the names they say. Hey, if you're just not coming in, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Hey, man, if you look at the channel, Young Elder got 8 books for $45 to the Cash App, PayPal, Cash App or PayPal. So we're still taking that $40 donation for people that was asking for the 8 books. You get the 8 books in PUF form, and we'll send all of them over. It's the Ascension Manual, the Galactic Family of Life book, the Dream Scroll, the Language of the Birds, the Orion Group, the Hustler's Manual, the Scrolls of Eyes, and the Book of Extraterrestrials. And a lot of these 8 books, all of them thick like that. Now, we only got them in PDF form, and that's why we let them go for $40. But Each of these books are worth $40 a piece. But if you want to get those books, like I say, $40 to the PayPal or Cash App, leave your emails in the links, and you'll receive your books ASAP. Right? So we just want to make those quick announcements. If you coming in, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. You might have missed a lot. If you're just not coming in, you might have to roll it back. We rolling a couple of clips, and we just going in to see what's going on with this fog. Is it a psychological tactic to create a panic? Or is people really getting sick? Or is people just creating their own sickness based off of what based off of this psychological genetical experiment? Right? Let's roll them in.
They won't do you.
So in that picture, you see this big, thick cloud rolling in. Now, like I said, the military is 40 years ahead of the public when it comes down to technology. They got weapons you don't even know about that they've been having since like 1940s, like a tsunami weapons. They got tsunami weapons, earthquake weapons, weather altering devices. They got all these weapons they can use to make everything look like it's just naturally happening, but it could be driven by, like I say, military complex intelligence type things, which ties back into the church. The church controls the military, right? Up until Trump take back over, right? So they pulling all these moves, and keep in mind this ties in with the Pope just opening them doors. Remember, I told you they want to create their 7 years of trouble and plagues and spooky and this and that, right? So they want to create this reality of they open this seal and starvation hits the planet and pestilence. And pestilence is as in pesticide, right? What is a pesticide, right? What is a pesticide? And who are the pests? The pest is the enemy. And who are the enemy? Right? The people who don't want to get down, just like they did with the Spanish Inquisition, just like they did before. Right? Now let's roll that next clip. Let's see where we at.
Look at how foggy it is. Whoa. Look at how weird it looks.
Right? So it looks like a thick cloud, but at the same time it looks like a snowy type mixture. And like I say, people saying they're getting sick. We don't know for sure. Like I say, it could be a psychological thing. It could be actually what the scientists, whoever did the test, said that it was this PM5 particle that was inside of the thing that creates these symptoms that the people say that they're getting. Right? Like I say, this could be connected with the Pope opening them doors. They were, and in the military put some kind of sleeping silent weapon on to us. Well, we think, oh, God is getting on to us. But the whole time, so you got to think about this. This is the thing. People still believe that this God getting on to us thing. And you got to keep in mind, the God getting on to us thing was Enlil dropping chemtrail niggas. It was Enlil crop dusting niggas. It was Enlil trying for fun, would sit up in there and smoke a joint, right? Now Enlil didn't smoke. You know what I'm saying? Enlil didn't smoke. Inky did though. But Enlil wouldn't smoke. But he'd sit up in there and he'll get into his zone, and he'll just get in the zone, and he'll just go on that pad and push zap a human right off the planet. Enlil was uptight, man. He ain't smoke or drink or nothing. Enlil, it was Inky that did the smoking and drinking, and my mama now. They was the one that was doing all the. On that side, they let their hair down. But he zap you. So the God gonna get you thing is the concept of Enlil coming to scare you up. You better bow and let me be your God type of thing, right? So that's the fear tactic that they utilize, that they've been utilizing. Yeah, they put the Simpsons in the Fog and the Simpsons, remember? So they always tell us what they gonna do. They always give us their moves, right? Let's roll them in. What's this one
Bird
right
flu is
here?
getting a lot of attention right now, with some experts worried it could become a major public health risk.
Now the CDC also warns multiple viruses are surging. As Amy Kiley reports, the result could be a spike in related hospitalizations.
If you start developing any respiratory symptoms, you need to get tested.
The CDC is warning of surges in flu, RSV, norovirus, and COVID cases. It's now predicting respiratory virus hospitalizations could be as high as last year, despite a slow start to the cold and flu season.
Those of us in infectious disease always worry about influenza.
The CDC reports a 12% jump in positive flu tests in the week ending December 21st. It says more than 12,000 people were hospitalized with the flu then. Right now, health officials say influenza A is the biggest concern, but experts are sounding the alarm about bird flu.
There's a lot about the bird flu and how it's mutating that we don't know about.
There's no yet cases of human-to-human transmission. That can happen at any time. Once that begins, we are indeed in for another pandemic.
Norovirus is another issue. Many people call it stomach flu, although it's not a type of influenza or even a respiratory illness. The CDC reports an unusual spike in norovirus outbreaks this month.
We are also moving into RSV season, respiratory syncytial virus season.
Health officials say the number of RSV cases is high and is increasing in most areas of the country. And young children are especially at risk. They say COVID cases are on the rise too.
The good news is we have testing for COVID and for RSV and for influenza.
Mass hysteria. Remember, they did this same thing 2019, man. You remember that when Trump was going in. So be on the look for the repeat. They're going back for the repeat, man. And let's pull this up. Because the bird flu is interesting. We can't say much because we don't know what they don't like on that or not, but we can, I guess we can say this. We can look up this right here because they got it on Google. I mean, if they got it on Google, I guess we can at least read it off. We asked Google, is there a patent on the bird flu? And it says, yes, there's a patent on the bird flu. And who got that patent on the bird flu? It says the World Health Organization has the patent on the bird flu. Interesting. And we'll drop the mic and walk off stage right there. Shout out that boy Roy Hayes, man. Shout out boy Skype 8, man. We'll drop the mic and walk off stage right there. That's all we're going to say on that. That the bird flu has a patent and the World Health Organization acknowledged the patent. And they calling it the avian. Who are the avian? The blue avians. The blue avians, right? The blue avians are one of the four alliances in mention of in Revelation chapter 4. And who don't like the blue avians? The reptilians. Man, this whole fog thing got the reptilians written all over. Got reptilian written all over. Dragonian reptilians. This whole thing, you know. But there's the patent right there. You can go look up the number right there. They got the different numbers right there for it. Just type in, it's the patent, it's the bird flu patent, man. They got it right there. You can't make stuff like this up. Right? You can't make stuff like this up. All right, let's see what else they got. I think we got one more.
Puzzle pieces can be found. In a May 1923 issue of Popular Science, aviation pioneer Orville Wright gives an eyewitness account of early weather manipulation experiments using methods strikingly similar to modern cloud seeding. The accepted geoengineering narrative maintains that 100 years ago, no one had even thought of such a thing, much less attempted it. Yet, electric sand technology was surprisingly advanced. Notably, they weren't just using airplanes, balloons were also part of their toolkit. This raises some big questions. Could these meteorological practices date back further, possibly even before the birth of the airplane? The process of using electrically charged powdered sand to encourage raindrop formation is essentially cloud seeding in an early form. Could this also be an example of military technology making its way into the public sphere long after the government had already been using it? The recent demonstration of two scientists who claim to be able to make at will rain by precipitating clouds or sunshine by dispelling fog. Their efforts, unlike those of other experimenters, have been based on chemistry rather than meteorology. Think of it. Rain when you want it, sunshine when you want it, man in control of the heavens, to turn them on or shut them off as he wishes. It seems incredible, but it will be a scientific reality of tomorrow.
Yeah, so they've been doing the cloud seeding since 1920. It's pretty much what they're telling you in that video. Shout out my baby kids. And like I say, this is what we're coming on with. I think Liz might be late. And what we're coming on to do, if you got to go back to the beginning, Liz, and read what we read at the beginning about psychological warfare and mass panic and order out of chaos. These guys' whole rundown. It's what they've been running since the Pope opened the doors, since the ball dropped. Right? They've been running this, scare them up, fear. Keep in mind, the only people, the people who promote this fear is the Dragonian reptilians. They eat this. They live off of this. They bathe in this. Fear, right? So to me, this is not more of the reptilian Dragonian agenda. It got their name written all over it. They're the ones that is involved with the Aerosol and Chemtrails, right? Hooking up with Enlil now to control the population. They are the ones that involved with the this whole ideology of fear to keep us scared. But we ain't never scared. We still here, ain't we? Right? What all they did to us? You want me to run down the list of what all they did to us, and we still here? So we just don't get mad at the reporter and the messenger for just putting out the news. We just putting out the news. People asked about the fog. We giving you what we think about the fog. It's another ooh. You better get scared. It's the end of the world. While they make billions of dollars off of us, and we still be broke. Right? This type of game.
Well, hello there. How's everybody doing? We are almost to the end of 2024, but we wouldn't make it to a new year without some fun and chaotic weather, right? So that being said, guys, I'm just curious. I see a lot of people talking about this fog. There's been a dense fog, not like a normal fog. I know I live in Florida. There's a lot of foggy weather. I get it. But this is happening all over the U.S. And this fog is, like I said, there's a different texture to it. But not only that, when it happened here, I got sick. I got super sluggish. I had a sore throat. I didn't feel well at all. I wasn't hungry. But most of all, it was weird. I couldn't sleep. And now I'm starting to see these videos come up of people in like Houston, all up through the even more north. This fog is making people sick. What's even crazier is, I guess in 2 weeks in Florida, we're supposed to have a temperature of like around 20 degrees. The low is supposed to be 19 degrees in Florida in 2 weeks. Huh? It's like 82 right now. How?
So like the temperature, weather is acting funny, a lot of funny things going on. Like I say, all of this we don't know. We just giving you what we came up with and what the report is on the land. Don't get mad at the reporter. We think it's another part of their order out of chaos because now all of a sudden it start. You know what I'm saying? Right? We the same, how convenient, right? The same type of time frame as the 2019, right? All this stuff happening. Oh, this, oh, hit. Oh, 7 monkeys got out and chased the guy 2 blocks and bit him in his ass. And now he got some shit called monkey balls. And it's going around. Monkey balls is airborne. You know how they do, man. They'll get us going. You know what I'm saying? Or some giraffes a giraffe broke out the zoo and chased the guy 4 blocks and bit him in his ass. And that's kind of hard. Like, I'm thinking of how a giraffe with a long neck, right? But the giraffe chased him. They'll tell us some shit like this, hoping we believe it. A giraffe chased the guy 2 blocks from a Burger King because he wanted a piece of his burger. The guy wouldn't get a giraffe piece of burger. The giraffe bit the guy in the ass. And now the guy, it's this new thing going around called the giraffe virus or something. You know how they do us, man. The giraffe virus is going around. You better be scared. Ooh, you better call for Jesus. They've been doing us like this, man. It's called psychological warfare. It's called mass hysteria. We just read all these definitions of what they attack, what they're trying to pull here. So we just wanted to bring that to you. Yeah, the nanotechnology, they putting that in the food and things of that nature. We might have to do a tape on the nanotechnology as well, because that's advanced technology. Yeah, some giraffe burgers or you know what I'm saying? They'll make up some. You know how they make up names for shit. And then have us, oh, man, don't go outside and get in the sunlight. That every time the sun get ready to come back out, they want to scare us inside, especially us Nubians, because they know that we gotta stay with that sun as the shift happens. We gotta shift with that sun. So by us being outside with our shirt off, exercising outside, walking, getting that sun, they don't want us to do that. Because they know we are sun people. Like Doc said, we sun people. We are connected with the sun. The sun is what heals us. The sun is what keep us going, keep us alive. And we knew that in ancient Kemet, and they took it in, the church under the Spanish Inquisition and made us sun worshipers and witches and warlocks and heretics. They called it familiar spirits, meaning family, your ancestors. Pretty much another word for familiar is another word for family in Latin. So they say familiar, he worshiped familiar spirits, meaning he worshiped his ancestors. You know what I'm saying? And so he can't do that. That's witchcraft. So let's burn him at the stake. This type of thing. And on that note, man, we about to get up out of here. If you're just not coming in, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. You might want to roll it back. We crack heads. We twist caps. And like I say, free Malachi Z. York, right? The master teacher who been a political prisoner since 2002. And we're going to win this war. Why? Because we can dance and they can't. And never have it been made so clear.